My name's Chandler McCaffrey, and I'm interviewing Miss Natalie, who I work with here at the Mississippi State Veterans Home. What's your first and last name?
Natalie Wood.
Okay, I'm going to interview you today, ask you a couple of questions about your job and what you do. Okay, so where do you work and what position do you hold?
I work at the Mississippi State Veterans Home. I'm an LPN on the B unit, which is the dementia unit.
Okay, how did you get to where you are today? Like, what made you decide to...
You know, I went to LPN school when I was in my early 20s, and I had a baby. And I thought that would just kind of be a fast, easy way to support my baby. I was a single mother.
Yeah.
And I was working in clinics and just wasn't real happy. And I got laid off from the clinic.
Okay.
It was like during a recession, and so the only job I could get was at a nursing home.
Really?
But little did I know I was gonna love it.
Yeah, and you never
would have thought in a million years that I would have loved it.
Yeah.
And that's where I've been ever since.
That's crazy. So I guess
13 years in nursing home.
That's crazy. And you didn't even decide to...
No, I just got it wound up there, and within a month I was like, okay,
this is where I'm supposed to be. So I guess that leads in, did you always want to go in this career, or did you have another career path in mind while, like, say you were in high school or...
I think I was too into having fun in
Fun,
high school.
Yep.
And then I had a baby, and then then I was
so
like, okay, I gotta find something besides waitressing so I can raise this child.
So when did you first decided you want to? Okay, we've already answered that. Okay, what does a normal day look like at work? So not like everything, but like when you get here, what like your kind of routine? I guess.
I mean, it's wild over here.
I know it's
There's
different.
a lot of exit seeking. You know, I get here, I go and look at all the guys, make sure they're okay, their vital signs. You know, just I check all the doors, make sure they're locked. And
yes, because they do try to escape
a lot of
over here.
exit seekers. And pass my meds and help with breakfast. You know,
just
get
start.
blood sugars, help with lunch, and go by every day. Go by pretty quickly.
So what part of your job do you enjoy the most?
The residents.
The residents
The guys,
and building,
definitely.
a
100%.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say. What part of your job do you enjoy the least?
When they pass.
When they pass?
When they pass,
Yeah,
it's
I bet
always
that.
really hard.
Yeah. Okay, how would you say you handle conflicts with your colleagues? Like, what's the best? Do you have conflict with your colleagues?
I pretty much like everybody and get along with everybody.
Yeah, that's
so
how
I avoid conflict like at all costs.
Yeah, that's how I
Well, like I will do whatever I need
to avoid it. Even if that means like you have to do something extra.
I would much rather
do that than cause a whole. Okay. Has there been any residents that you have gotten attached to in a special way? Hundreds. Definitely Buddy. Yeah.
Buddy is my little husband. I've had so many over the years that
you build
I was very, very close with.
And
They become like family.
So I guess that leads in, how do you cope when a resident that you've built a close relationship with passes? Like, does it affect?
It took me years to kind of
realize
make peace with
it. Because at first, like when you first started working in a resident,
I was just fascinated.
Like when you leave work, you'd be upset even after you left work.
Yeah, and you know but I just kind of learned. You know, I pictured them in heaven, in there, like walking around, like in their 20s with their little military uniform on, and you know, doing things that they couldn't do without, having their brain working normally. You know, and that gives me peace.
Okay, and what is the biggest, or the hardest challenge is for you working with the dementia people? Like, just them, like, what would you say the hardest challenge as a caretaker for dementia? Because a lot of people don't know how to take care of dementia people, or they don't have the patience or stuff.
Yeah, you really just kind of have to go along with their reality. Find their reality, what works for them, and go along with it.
Don't
to me, it's not really hard. It's busy. You know, it's running back and forth, catching people for flight. You know, guys that are about to fall, catching them, and you know.
Okay, and so the last question I have for you: do you have any advice for me in like my career? Like, what advice would you have for me going into the elderly population?
Enjoy it. Enjoy the guys. Enjoy the residents.
Build a relationship.
You can learn so much from them.
Yeah.
You know, even these guys with dementia.
Oh, yeah.
You can learn so much from them.
Yes.
Just learn about their lives and just the cool things they did, you know, while they were, you know,
had back when they were well. So, okay, well that was it. Well, thank you for interviewing with me. Yes.